well, how does he, come out of ramping up the workload? It looked, at least from the eye test, that the answer would be pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
is there anything
like
new
I said to
you
you yesterday, workload and conditioning.
Yeah.
So
but he's still in that mode, though. Nothing's
still in
changed from
mode,
that.
Yeah. Still in that mode.
Okay. The Boston Bruins, I would think, would be one of the teams that have surprised us so-called experts that you referred to a couple of weeks ago about where we thought teams might wind up. Is anything about them surprised you, though?
Obviously, they made the coaching change. Real complete team. Play a real good 200-foot game right now. They're playing a real good 200-foot game. They're really rolling their four lines, getting good goaltending, really getting good goaltending. And, they have their sort of craziness in the East, all those teams that are clumped together. And, a very desperate team that's, has to try and really stay in that hunt for, spots. So, they just won. One didn't beat a Devils team, beat St. Louis twice, and so a good hockey team. We have to make sure that we're prepared tonight.
And from your team's perspective, what made it the right decision for Gus Nyquist to draw back in tonight?
It was just time to get him back in. It really is. It just he's been out for a few, and he's a guy we brought in for offense. We brought him into obviously his skill set, so let him go tonight.
In a situation like that, Scott, maybe a younger player might almost try and do too much when he gets back in, but do you think as a veteran, like, he'll manage that maybe better than a younger player might and not?
Yeah, I mean, Gus has got a lot of experience at this level and in different scenarios. I think that, he's probably, I know he's upset that he wasn't playing, but at the end of the day, go in and, use his skill set as every chance he gets, and that's what we need. And hopefully that'll help us get some more depth throughout the lines.
Just watching the morning skate, like Cole Perfetti stays out there well beyond kind of when most of his teammates. Have you seen that over your career, where maybe a guy who's struggling a bit, he's trying to find different ways to get himself going?
Stay on the range longer, putt more, right, Kenny? Right, chip more. I think it really is. He wants to continue to keep handling pucks, making plays, doing stuff like that. Just like I said earlier, prior to this week, we haven't had a whole lot of practice time, a whole lot of chance to be out and doing those things. So he's taking advantage of it, which is good to see.
And it looks like he might go back to that top power play unit, which could be, I guess, good for him if everybody can get going there.
Well, try to find a way to spark him. So, I mean, he's not alone in that. The other guys need to go, but if we can put him in there, he's had success in there before. So see how that works itself. Hopefully it works itself positively tonight.
You guys brought Divincentiis up to kind of get some experience up here with the club. How much of a benefit do you think it is for him to get that advice now from Connor Hellebuyck as well as Eric Comrie?
Yeah, I think with Milic coming up and now Dom there, those guys being able to be around our guys like we talked about with Monson and Lambert and Chibi and these guys, to be able to do this, to be around our group, whether it's meetings, being in for goaltenders, seeing NHL shooters. Now that Helly's back on the ice, I know him and Dom talked lots about different things, and just to have that experience, to talk to a guy with that experience, obviously with that resume, is big for a young guy like Dom, and that's what we were hoping, that he gets some opportunity to be a sponge and learn. And there's a big difference between NHL shooters and the American League. Not so much the weight of the shot, it's the quickness that it happens, how often they come, the traffic that is involved with that stuff. So Dom being able to experience that through the practices, we'll see. I'm not sure about the game part of it, but just being able to be around that is hopefully a part of his growth.
You made it clear after last game and yesterday, as good as you played in that game against Dallas, you got to do it again. We got to replicate it and come back and do it on this night. Are you seeing signs that message is resonating? Or are you seeing things from the team that make you expect that to unfold tonight?
Yeah, certainly really liked what we did against Dallas. That was good. I didn't like what we did in the first period against Edmonton, obviously, and can't chase games. I know we got down against Dallas. Those are the type of things that, if we can continue with our work ethic, our compete, our attention to not giving up the rush opportunities against, and being better in front of our goaltenders, that'll help us play in the other end a lot more. And then the things that start to grow from it, our rush game gets better, our forecheck game gets better, and then, like I mentioned yesterday, our zone time was the best it's been all year against Dallas. And so, just build on it, continue to build on that. And that's what I know I've said this before, but at the end of the day, that's kind of what I was preaching again today is we have to go and do it again. We have to force Boston to play in their end of the rank, get them away from them feeling comfortable being in our building.
And, sometimes it's darkest before the dawn. You talked about building on it. A lot of times the change happens before you start seeing the results. When you go in the film room, are you showing a lot more, see, this is what we're getting right, build on it, rather than this is what we got to change?
Yeah, I've been trying to do that, in the last couple of weeks. When the good things do happen, it's not 60 minutes of it, but we were really close last game to 60 minutes of it. And you're right, that's part of what you do. You got to build on the positives. You got to build on the correct things. There still is some teaching on some of the moments when it isn't right or doesn't look right. But at the end of the day, if we can, kind of continue to do that and build it period to period, game to game, and hopefully that carries into tonight and then into Saturday and then into Monday, that's the best case scenario for us.
Scott, penalty kill has been a real strength for your group, but has there been a recurring theme in this 6-game block where you've given up at least one in each of those games? Or
theme?
Penalty
In the
kill?
sense that they've scored?
Is there a theme in terms of where the breakdowns are happening or maybe the aggression?
No,
that
actually, we did look at them. They are coming to kind of sort of a couple of different looks to it. But, when we look at it, we look at, our entries. Are we doing a good job in the entries first and foremost? Let me back it up. Are we starting, are we winning some face-offs? Are we getting pucks down the ice, not allowing them to get the zone timing, getting stuck out there right off the bat? Is it entries, us doing a good job of not allowing them to get real true clean entries? And, I think then obviously when we're moving and pressuring and getting our clears, all those three things kind of cohesive, then it's good. And it's one of those or two of those things have kind of happened in the last few games, and that's an area we got to be more consistent with it.